Quite exciting, isn't it? A bit uncomfortable. It's quite exciting. So, Kate, welcome to Yorkshire Business Focus. I'm Ian Strachan, and I'm sat with Kate Chandan of Ethica Recruit. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you, Ian. Good to see you.
Let's get straight into it. Tell me about your business. How long you've been set up and what it is that you do.
Yeah, so I've got my own recruitment business, and I launched in May last year. So just coming up to nearly a year old. So
Awesome.
first year anniversary is imminent. My recruitment business is focused mainly on Yorkshire businesses and supporting Yorkshire businesses finding the right people. Mainly focused on manufacturing businesses and logistics businesses based in Yorkshire, helping them find excellent sales talent. So that could be from a sales coordinator, business development manager, right up to commercial and sales directors as well.
Awesome. I love that. What inspired you? Why did you set your own business up?
I first started when I first left university many moons ago. I went into recruitment and I've always worked in corporate sales. Then I had a career break. I've got three young children and had them quite close together. So I had a bit of a career break, did a few little bits and pieces, but never really found what I wanted to go back into. And last year kind of thought, right, I'm going to go back into recruitment, and then did it and thought I absolutely loved it. I forgot how much I loved it. So I was actually working with someone that I know that approached me and said, could you come and help me with some work because I've got too much work on. So I was working with her on a bit of a project basis, and just realised how much I loved it. And for me, the main part of what I love doing is I love speaking to people every day. I literally love speaking to people all day long and helping people, whether that be a candidate find the right role for them, or whether that be a client who's been struggling to find the right person for their business, and just really helping people and adding value to their business as well.
Cool. I love that. And as you're speaking, the passion comes through for what you do. Can definitely see the passion's there. And you kind of need that because running a business isn't always easy, is it? What challenges have you met along the way?
Well, recruitment is quite a challenging business. People sometimes think looking in it, oh, it's quite easy, isn't it? You find people jobs and find candidates roles and find your clients jobs, but it's not like that at all. It is that roller coaster. So the challenges that I can face on a daily basis are candidates not turning up for interviews, changing, candidates getting far down the line with an interview with a client and then them getting a counter from their current employer and staying where they are. So then we're kind of back to square one and starting the search again. So there can be lots of things that can change. And obviously, when you're dealing with people rather than a product, if you like, it's quite difficult you can't control it. There's a lot of things that can change. So I think one of the things you need to be generally running your own business anyway, and definitely true of recruitment, is you need to be resilient.
Okay, what does resilient mean for you?
Just keep going, don't get derailed. Things happen. Don't get emotional about it as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep your eyes on where you want to go to, because things will always happen, change will always happen, and be flexible and adaptable, and to be able to grow and change as things change and growing with your business as well.
And that's kind of like gets to be the definition of success, doesn't it? Just keeping going and keeping the consistency there. Yeah,
absolutely. That consistency, 100%.
So in the course of the last 3 months or 6 months, what kind of wins have you had? What small successes have you had or seen along the way that have contributed to that resilience?
Yeah, so January was a bit of a bumper month. So I had my biggest month in January, which was great as a business. So and reaching out to new clients. That's one thing I really like, speaking to new clients, getting to understand their business, going to see them, get a real understanding, not just for what they want from a role, what they want from a candidate, but getting to really get kind of in. I see myself as an extension of their business, and I like to see myself as a recruitment partner, so someone that really understands their culture, where they're going and what kind of person would fit into that role. So I've had quite a few exciting new conversations, new clients come on board, which has been great. And building those relationships for the long term. I'm not a kind of excuse me, a recruiter that goes in, fills a job, gets out, see you later. I want to build those relationships for the long term, and they take time, don't they? They take time to build credibility up as well. So that's sort of what I've been working on with the first quarter of this year, definitely.
Brilliant. So that feels and sounds very much like that's the customer building relationship that's been very key for you. What other successes have you had in the business in terms of building business or generating a machine that carries on growing with you? I mean, what's been put in place in your business?
So I am terrible at admin, and I will just avoid it like the plague. So I've really challenged myself to get those processes in place.
Okay.
So I've now got a CRM system, so everything's there, which is fantastic. I've also got a business development process that I go through. So it's reaching out and connecting with people, mainly on LinkedIn, to be honest, because that's sort of where most of my clients hang out, and that's coming to fruition now. So I'm having, you know, regular new client meetings, which is great, and like I say, adding value where I can.
Yeah. Brilliant. And I love that phrase, challenging yourself. So in real terms, in actual daily activities, what does challenging yourself look like?
Doing the admin work, picking the phone up and speaking to clients and candidates. I love that bit of it. I absolutely love that bit of it. It's anything admin is not where I thrive, and I'm in flow.
So what do you do? What's the actions you actually need to go through?
I do it every day, first thing, before I do anything else.
Brilliant.
So I don't have a to-do list. I do not have a to-do list. So I think sometimes with a to-do list, you can get overwhelmed. You might have 20 things on it. You are never going to get to the end of that in a day. And then when you don't do that, you look back and you think, oh, I've not been very successful today because I've not done these 20 things, which is just totally unreasonable. So I think learning to actually manage it, you know, be manageable rather than say, I'm going to do this like 20 hours work in 2 hours today, because it's never going to happen. So I have one thing that I need to do every day. I pick out one thing that's critical that I do every day.
Yeah.
Whatever that might be, you know, that might be a client meeting, that might be speaking to a candidate, that might be doing, you know, it could be anything, invoicing. I don't do anything else if I've done that one thing.
Brilliant.
First thing that I do, and then I have 3 other things that I'd like to do that day. I also plan my time. I show you because it's really, but this is, for me, it's a game changer. I have a planner every day. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So I have a day, and I split my day up into hours. So the thing that I don't like doing, but that's critical, that's the first thing that gets done. Because if I've done that thing, that is a massive win. And that could be an uncomfortable conversation, something that I've been putting off. Phone goes in the drawer, out of the way, so I'm not distracted. Because I'm a little bit like a magpie. Oh, look at that! Look at that! So I
there's something moving on the screen. I must watch that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a kitten. What can I do now? Yeah. So I just turn everything off. I just put just no distractions, and I have that really focused time. I also use a timer as well. So I might be, if I'm doing sort of some like business outreach to new clients, I might say, right, I'm going to do an hour, and I'll put a timer on, and I won't do anything else in that time.
What's the power of using a timer?
Because I know that if I do 60 minutes work on that, that's going to deliver me some great results.
Amazing. So, absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than being like, I'm going to connect with 5 people or whatever it might be, just thinking, right, I'm going to do an hour solid on this.
That's quite inspirational, is that, Kate? I like that. Yeah, I like that. Brilliant.
So I reward myself with a cup of tea and maybe a little bit of chocolate.
Well, that should be my next question, shouldn't it? What is the reward you give yourself when you've done that hour? Yeah.
Yeah, something like a cup of tea and a bit of chocolate. Something that's like, great. When I've done this,
that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Cool. I like that. So, what is that one of the behavioural traits then that hallmarks a great business owner? Do you think being able to get that focus?
I think being structured, because if you don't, and if you're not structured and you're not clear on your goals and you're not clear where you want to go to, I think it's very easy, especially when you're on your own or you might have a small team. It's very much that you're doing everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could be doing your invoicing, you could be doing your new business development, you could be doing your client meetings, you could be doing your, you know, CRM, your admin, all of that kind of stuff, your marketing, your whatever that looks like, your social media. That all comes to you when you're, because I'm still only a year in, you know, not quite a year in yet. So it's very much I'm kind of doing everything at the moment. And that's fine. If you're not, you can get very much caught up in the day-to-day, you're just a day-to-day doing, rather than sitting back and thinking, right, how do I plan my week? What's important this week? How does that review against my goals? And I always review my week as well. And I set out at the beginning of the week and see what 3 things are business critical this week. And then on a Friday, I'll look back and think, have I done those things? If not, why not?
Amazing.
What do I need to do to improve on next week?
Yeah.
So, and I always have, and I haven't got it yet, but my plan is to have because I have my forecast, I have my budgets, I have my goals of where I want to be, both personally as well as business.
Super.
And I think that's important.
Amazing.
They kind of go hand in hand. To have them visible.
Absolutely.
So they're written down, but they're not in my office, they're not visible. So I want to be able to see them every day.
Okay. Yes.
And they're the things that switch me on and think, okay, well, if I do these things every day, because actually when we break it down and the things that we avoid, they're actually not hard things.
No.
They're not like, they could be a phone call. They could be a few emails. They could be a few, they're not hard things, but I think
but it is amazing the things that we invent that get between us and doing those simple things, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think it's very much when you work for yourself, especially when you haven't almost got a task, like a job description, if you like. There is no job description when you work for yourself. You know, that's up to you. So I think when you work for yourself, it's very easy to do the work.
Yeah.
It's also very easy not to do the work.
Brilliant.
Especially if you're working at home, where most people are working at home. So I think that's for me, it's having that visibility as well, which is what I'm going to do in the next couple of weeks. Just have something really, really visible, so it's there. And those times where you're thinking, oh, just do it. Actually,
I love the focus, and I love the ambition that sits behind that to drive towards your own goals, and using that to drive towards your own goals. But I'm guessing this time, despite that focus and despite that passion, there are times when you need a bit more support. So who else do you use to support you as you grow your business?
My husband.
Really?
So he does quite a bit with the kids. You know, if I'm very busy, he will take a lot of the family kind of, you know, the around, the clubs, the keepers, the swimming, all of that kind of jazz. And also other people as well. I think it's important to have a good network around you. Working on your own can be quite isolating, and you know, some days that's great because some days you don't want the distractions, and it's great to get your head down and go. But I have a few other, probably 3 or 4 other recruitment friends that I can deal with and bounce ideas off and have a chat through with things. Also, I have a great networking group, as you know, and I think that's really important to just have that kind of almost a bit of downtime where you take a couple of hours out of your business and connect with other people. And I think that's really important. So I think networking is really important, not just for the business that it can give you and that you can help the businesses, but for the camaraderie as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, brilliant. I get that. That's amazing. Thank you very much indeed.
You are very welcome.
If you had a message for the 10-year-old Kate right now, what message would you give a 10-year-old Kate?
Wow, what a question. I don't think 10-year-old Kate would have listened to anything.
oh, that's very telling, isn't it? Yes.
But I think, you know, be brave, and you can do anything you want to do.
I love that.
You can do absolutely anything you want to do. And also, you can change what you want to do as well. Because I think sometimes people get stuck in a little bit of a rut and they're like, well, I've always done this, so that's what I've got to carry on doing. That's not true. You know, you live one life, live it, do whatever you want to do.
I love that. That's absolutely brilliant. I think we should sign off on that.
Yeah, fabulous.
Be brave. You can do whatever you want to do. Thank you very much indeed, Kate. Great. And thank you for the insight there.
Very welcome.
Okay, we'll see you all in the next episode of Yorkshire Business Focus. Thank you.